Hey, how's it going? This is Darren Goodman from GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. And today we're going to take another chapter in the series that I'm doing on chords, scales, arpeggios that are in any given key, the chord scale, all that. And today we're going to be looking at chord progressions and how to find them based off of using what we have already learned. We're going to be looking at this in the key of G today. But again, you can do this in any key. It doesn't matter what key you're in. It's always going to be the same shapes and stuff. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get up close and take a look. All right, so the very first chord progression we're going to look at is the most widely used common chord progression in the world, the 1-4-5 chord progression. And we are in the key of G. So using the the major scale that we did in the first segment, starting on G, each one of those notes is a degree of the scale in which that we'll be basing the chord progression on. And then, like we learned in the first video, that there is a chord that corresponds with each one of those. So in this case, we're looking at 1-4-5. So 1, obviously, is G. And we can either use G major or G major 7. Then we just simply need to find out what the 4 chord would be. So if we just follow the scale up, 1, 2, 3, 4, we land on C. And from the chord scale that we did, that could either be C major or C major 7. Whoops. And then the 5 chord, up one more whole step, D, D major, or D dominant 7. So those would be, your chords. So, you could play, all majors. Or we could, use the 4 chord or the 4 note chords, the 7th chords, and it would be G major 7, C major 7, and D dominant 7. Whoops. Now you can also take those chords and you can mix and match them together. So, if you wanted to, you could do, G major 7 to C major to D dominant 7. Or you could do G7, or excuse me, G major to C major 7 to D major. Any combination thereof. Now, another really common chord progression that we're going to look at is the 1-6-2-5 chord progression. So again, we'll use our major scale, and our 1 chord is either going to be G major or G major 7. And then we count up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's E. That's either going to be E minor or E minor 7. Then our 2 chord, 1, 2, will either be A minor or A minor 7. And our 5 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, will either be D major or D dominant 7. Now, this is a really common, just by playing through this chord progression, you can recognize it, from lots of different things. A lot of the doo-wop stuff from the 50s a lot of it was based off of this chord progression. So you get the. Now that's strictly playing it as is just triads, it's just the 3-note chords, major and minor chords. But again, you could do this, you could use G major 7, E minor 7, gives it a little bit more of a kind of a jazz kind of a feel to it. And you can, mix and match them, all together. When I was preparing for this and playing through it, another song I kind of recognized from it is, it's actually a Suicidal Tendencies song. Hey, another common chord progression is the 3-1-5-2 chord progression. So we're in this key of G major. So 1, 2, 3. We land on B as our 3 chord, and that would be either B minor or B minor 7. And then from there we go back to our 1 chord, which would be G major or G major 7. Then we go to our 5 chord, 2, 3, 4, 5, D major or D dominant 7. And then our 2 chord, 1, 2, A minor or A minor 7. So again, with this, we can mix and match whether we want it to be the major chord, or, our first chord we can do B minor or B minor 7. So we could B minor 7 to G major to D dominant 7 to A minor 7, and any combination thereof. Now there are obviously a lot more chord progressions than these 3 that I've went over. So it's just simply a matter of if somebody tells you, hey, we're playing this and we're doing we're gonna go 6, 4, 2, 5. So you're like, okay, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's E, so it'd be E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, C major. 1, 2, B minor. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, D major. So. It was neat when you play through these, you can almost just recognize immediately songs that you've heard before, because these chord progressions have just been recycled over and over and over and over again, and just by changing the order in which they're played and changing what chord voicings and stuff, rhythms, everything, it changes them all into a variety of different songs. So when you're practicing doing this, just like the other stuff, you want to make sure that you do it in different keys. Don't always play it in G major. Maybe one day, practice playing the chord scale, the scales, the arpeggios, the chord progressions in G, and then the next day play them in A, and then the next day play them in F, and then the next day play them in A sharp. I mean, whatever. Just move it around so you're not always doing it in the same place, and you're going to get a variety to play it, everywhere. Ideally you want to be able to whip out a scale, arpeggio, chord progressions, and everything in all 12 keys. All right, so I hope you got something out of that and enjoyed it. If you like the video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and until next time.